This is what we call the oval hose, and will get round when it's pressurized. And the other thing you do have here is 15 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds here. So it's going to be very easy to do. And then we have fittings that goes from here. I don't have anything to show you like that, but they are fitting that goes from here to directly to the tape. Actually, we have fittings that has a valve, a ball valve, very small, that you can close. If you are, I am having an issue here with this row. Let me close this, and the other row is watering, so that will be perfectly fine. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, that'd be good to have as individual valves for each one.
Yeah.
Then if we had to have had
Exactly.
the heavy water and one that doesn't need the water.
So these are basically, see how many. This will be the coupler. So if something happens with the drip tape, I'm sure the drip tape, you just do this here. So let me show you the tape first. So this will be the drip tape that you'll be using. So it's very simple. You just put this here all the way in, and then just take it back, and now it's very tight. And if you need to and then you need to be sure that when you're pulling tape, you are reusing the fitting, because you say the fitting. So we have things like that. We have the tees. We have if I can find a barb. No, I don't have any barb, but there will be one configuration that will be the barb by tape. So it will be just half of this to be hooked here with the valve and so on. Okay. Let me also give you some information about the tape. Read about that for you to keep. If you have any other grower is interested, leave a few of those, they know, and I'm explaining how that works.
Oh, there's the barbs. Yeah, this.
What was that?
That's the barb.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. It's very simple, and we have bulbs, we have air vents, we have.
Now, what about you mentioned fertilizing and stuff? You got fertigators or something that you use?
The
injectors?
easier way for you to do this will be with a Macy injector. The Macy injector is mass injector are very simple to use, because you have you only thing you do is just having a drum somewhere, and the same line you just hook up a three-way valve in such a way that you can inject anything you want. And since you have dedicated valve, you will be injecting for a specific valve.
Now that's say a bucket with the line that comes up that goes into a brass fitting, and then that goes into the main line, into the trunk.
Exactly. It's the same concept that you use when you have a garden hose with that bottle that you can screw. It's the same exact
same
concept.
thing. Yep.
It's very simple. It's not extremely accurate, but here you have to be extremely accurate. You usually have an idea what you're doing.
And the type of fertilizer that you use, or
always soluble. You don't buy granule at all. You need to find a company that may sell that to you, but either are liquid or 100% soluble. You don't buy anything else.
Okay.
But that should be very simple for you to get.
Fish emulsion, stuff like that.
Yeah,
would work.
all those kinds. I'm not an expert on what they are using now, so you may have to Google that information.
Okay.
Let me talk to you about the tape, so for you to have an idea how this works. We make, and you can find on the industry, different size of tape. The size of tape, like the PVC pipe, depends on how much water you need to run. The bigger the size, the longer you can run. With this one here, which is the 580, the smaller we make, you can run up to 350 feet on one row. Here it's going to be very easy for you to do. So you should be getting a 5/8 tape, and there are different type of tapes. The way we make tape is a seamless. It's a one piece of tubing, and some companies they do is that they basically they create the flow path of the dripper when they are running the tubing. We do a different way. We mold this red thing that you can see. That's the flow path. We mold that in a different process, and we co-extrude the tape, so this become one piece. And even if you stretch that tubing, the tape, this will not be affected at all. And our go ahead. Again, this is for you to keep, and this is that red stripe that you can see here is basically what we are trying to show here. This is the flow path. The flow path, basically the water comes through here, goes into the inlet, and this is the flow path. The longer the flow path you have, the more uniform you're going to have the emission from one emitter to the next one. So, and the other thing that we go ahead.
That's instead of like the soaker tape or the soaker hose. It comes out. I mean, it's almost squirting at the beginning. At the end, it's just barely coming out.
Exactly.
That keeps it from...
Exactly. This keeps your uniformity very, 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 very even between one emitter and the other. And you can read about that here on this section. Now, the other advantage of our tape is that we basically have the bigger area on the height of the flow path, this height, and the width where the water is coming through. So it's basically a square. And as you know, most of the debris is round. It could be a particle, a sand particle or whatever, but usually it's round. So the more square area you have to go through, the less chances for you have for clogging. That's very, very important, because again, I have been making very good a big emphasis on how important it is to do maintenance, cleaning, flushing, filtering.
Can this hose be buried underground?
Yes, could be. Can be.
For like our lettuce mix, where we got just a solid mass of lettuce, we could actually put that tape underground first,
you can,
then plant the lettuce?
You can do that, and again, everything will be related to how good you flush. And I'm going to talk about flushing pretty soon. Actually, in that book I just told you about, it gives you or tells you about how important it is when you are running a system at 8 pounds, for instance. When you are flushing, you need to increase the pressure in the system so you can push through everything you have on the system in order to flush your lines.
So the underground stuff, then every once in a while we just take off the cap, flush that thing out.
Yes.
And good
Correct.
to go again. Huh?
Correct. And all those details I'm in that book I'm going to give you are included. Now, the tape, the beauty of this concept of tape is that the price that you are going to pay is just related to two things: to the size of the tape. In your case, you're going to be getting or you should be buying the 5/8, and the thickness of the tape. The thickest, the stronger the tape. So if you want to save money, you go to a thinner wall, which is less expensive per 100 feet. But now you know that the thinner you go, the easier will be to break. Not to break because you are overpressuring the system, but easier if an animal is biting the tape or things like that. I would go, if I would be you, with either a 6 mil or an 8 mil. No thicker than that.
How many years do they last?
The growers usually do this once a year.
New tape every year?
New tape. Now, if you go, no, what will you? I think I can have a very good care of my tape, so go with the 15 mil, because once you retrieve that and put it in a nice area, should not be exposed to sun, and lay it again, you should be okay. So if you want to save some money and try that, then go with a thicker wall. with the thicker one, and you can tell, and you can tell the difference between one wall and the other one. So again, this is for you to keep, but the price will be dictated just on the size and the thickness of the wall.
It's not UV protected then.
Yes, they are.
They are.
They
But
are.
sun will still
Oh yeah,
wipe it out.
Yeah, every black tubing that we make has to be UV protected. So as far as being exposed to the sun, it's nothing. It's nothing. Okay, and then here, in this area here, it's very important because you need to decide what flow you are going to have, and that, in general terms, for row crops like this, people use what they call medium flow rate, which is basically 0.2 gallons per hour. The other thing that you need to decide is how closer you want those emitters to be. We can do from 4-inch spacing, 6-inch spacing, 8-inch spacing, 12. So, but neither the flow or the spacing will affect your price at all.
The spacing you're talking about is just the holes.
Oh yes,
In between,
I'm sorry.
in between the tape.
Yes,
Or on the
the spacing. If you look very closely here, you can see the slits. Those slits here are the outlet of the flow path and the emitter. So basically, it's a flow path, is the emitter, and then the outlet. Okay, so basically, depending on the direction of how the tape goes, the whole length of tape is a combination between the flow path, the emitter itself, and the outlet. Of course, the longer the spacing, the far away the spacing you have, the longer the flow path. So with that, the longer the spacing will give you longer runs. In your case, it doesn't matter because your runs are very short. So you can say, oh well, what? Is that the case? I want that water to be that emitter to be every 4-inch spacing, but that doesn't really mean nothing because it depends on how the spacing is you need is related to two things. Basically, what crop you're having and the type of soil you have. The sandier the soil,
That's us.
exactly, you want to have closer spacing. Why? Because the water of the movement of the water goes straight down. It doesn't have the chance to move sideways. If we will be working on a clay soil, then you can do 8-inch spacing because eventually the first thing the water goes, come here and begins to move to the sides, and then eventually goes down. On the sandy soil, basically moves few inches sideways and then goes
Drops.
down.
So we would want something probably in the 4 to 6.
What I would do, I would do 6 or 8
6 or 8.
spacing.
Okay.
That should be good enough for most of the crop that you have.
Would that include? Okay, I can see that with the peppers and stuff, but with like the salad mix, that is just. I mean, they're spaced that far apart.
Yeah.
Would that still be enough to water everybody?
Yeah. What you do is that you accommodate. If you do it 2 rows of tape, you do a triangle.
Okay, stagger.
Stagger and
dripper,
then
right.
and basically one dripper will get to that point eventually.
Okay. Are there 90-degree elbows that
Yeah.
you sell?
Yes.
So
yes.
we wouldn't actually put it. So instead of putting, a bunch of holes in this trunk for one, we could still have one and run it out, elbow back. Or
no. Again,
or do you want to put the holes in there? And
yeah, you
plug
put
them?
you put the holes here, and you run one. I mean, you can do probably 2, but I would just go single runs.
Okay.
And again, with enough, with water you have, you should be fine. Again, very important things. Number 1, a good design. Number 2, count, and this is very important here. This section here tells you the filtration requirement. You need to get a filter, and the filter you need to get is related to the maximum flow that you can do for the whole system from the pump.
Okay.
So a 2-inch, it should be probably like 100 and 120 gallons per minute, something like that.
You're talking like those household things with the canisters that hang down, you screw up, that filter inside.
Actually, I didn't bring one. But actually, no, I don't carry this one. But I'm going to show you all. There's a picture here of some filters here,
Okay, yeah.
but they are either Y configuration or a T configuration. But one way or the other, they need to match two things: maximum flow that you're going to have on the whole system, thinking that, okay, what will be the maximum thing that I can run at once? If I can run at once 100 gallons per minute, that's the maximum, what the filtration has to be. Need to match, number one, the requirement of the meter. On this case is 140 mesh, and has to match the maximum flow. That's very important. The other thing they need to do is having air vents. Why? Because every time that you turn on the system with water, you have air coming in, and with drip, you're going to feel that very quickly, because before water coming through the pipe, you're going to be listening to the whistle of the wind of the air moving through.
Yeah.
And you need to take that air out of the system. That's very important. And all that information should be on the design itself. That's very important. And number three, flushing and maintenance. And again, I didn't put much more attention, but most likely when you are doing the filtration pump, and on this pump station here you're going to have a pressure regulator, because again, you should not have on the inlet of the tape more than 10 pounds. So if you regulate that to have to be on 15 pounds for this whole system here, you are going to be fine.
Okay.
For 15 pounds. Okay. Let me show you the